What's going on, guys? Fighting Game Selectors here. We are back again to talk about some fighting games. Of course, you already know we are here to talk about fighting games. I am here with HookGangGod. Bro, what is good, dude? Long time no see.
Long time no see, my brother Kizzie. How you doing, bruh?
I
How's
am
everybody doing?
I am doing great, man. We are here to talk about some amazing things. The six biggest hopes for fighting games this upcoming year. Isn't it crazy, dog?
Yeah,
I feel like I really couldn't even process 2024 as much. Because there was so much going on, and like we're pretty much done. It's so crazy. I was like, dude, I bet in 2030 we're gonna have like flying cars, and like, look, we're almost there, dude.
we're actually almost there,
Yeah,
though.
it's kind of crazy. But look,
I mean, they're robot servants now. I
yeah,
saw
dude.
that.
They're all over. They're all over Santa Monica, dude. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and start off, man. I think my biggest hope for fighting games, dude, is these world tours be more favorable for the players. And what I mean by that, I mean like, a great infrastructure so players all over the world that can't travel get a chance to get an opportunity, get a spot to play against some of the best players, and the people that are actively consistent and being able to show their skill set by being consistent so they can have a chance to get that big win at the end of the season. I think things like that is very, very important. And the reason why I talk about things like that is because that's one of the things that NuckleDo did for the first Capcom Cup in 2015. The biggest important is that NuckleDo was not really strong in the beginning of Street Fighter V in Season 1. He was not apparent whatsoever. Players that were really consistent was like Infiltration and Tokido, and throughout the whole like first 5-6 tournaments, it was just really them in grand finals most of the
Yeah,
time until at the end that he got qualified in a Canada Cup event. And I think that was a great story because he was able to get that point. He was able to qualify, but again, like it's all point system that was really good. And then all of a sudden, he was able to like lock in and like win. And I look at things as like, what if he would have got second place there? And like he didn't qualify, but he still got enough points to play in the finals. He would have won the finals, and I think that would have been a great story. And it's things like that that I think is really important to have a great infrastructure because it creates storylines. And I think having 4 storylines is never a really good narrative to bring out, especially for players that are putting so much time into the game and is marketing your game. I think they should get some incentive, especially for the world tour that's designed for them.
like as being one person or a person that has been in a couple world tours, I feel like for the most part, the point system is like one of the best ways to go about it because there was a world tour in first year Dragon Ball or second year Dragon Ball where you only could win to qualify, right? And like that gives almost nobody a chance. Like that only gives like the absolute best a chance to be in the world tour. And so like I feel like that's just not the right way to do it. The
Yeah,
point, like a good point system, and then actually, I know that online, is a little controversial when it comes to these kind of things, but I feel like with rollback now out, it's just a necessity as well to have some events, not count like it shouldn't count as important as an offline event, but just to get people's foot in the door, just have a actual online the online tournaments or for points to actually get into like a real qualifying tournament. Hopefully it'll get better. I feel like we've grown past not having points. I hated when there was no points in for Dragon Ball, but I think for the most part, some people they get lucky and they can actually play on rollback because that was another thing too. All games have rollback now for the most part. Like back then, we having to play an online tournament and the worst delay is just terrible, bro.
yeah. Oh, trust me, I remember those days, and I don't want to go back.
For the newer games, I'm hoping that they continue this on the right path to getting as much people around the world as possible through qualifying means to actually get to the real important tournaments.
That's your hope? Would you say that?
Yeah, my hope is that they actually because you never know. I think a really great example would be like what happened in Tekken 7. I mean, who would have known there's just gods in Pakistan in the
Pakistan,
game,
that was
right?
crazy. Yeah.
Who like stuff like that is just so crazy to me that they were pretty. It was just dormant, like nobody knew for years that like they didn't become gods overnight. They
Mhm.
were probably godlike at the game for years and nobody's known. So like as good as that story is, we still want more people from around the world to actually have that chance in the first place. I also hope that like or like we need to give like more countries a chance too as well when it comes to some circuits because sometimes there's only like U.S. online tournaments,
Yeah.
or like specific Europe only tournament instead of like our around the actual world. Like
Yeah.
you'll never see something like it's rare for like for example to see like a South African tournament, right? That qualifies to a US tournament, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit rare. Um but I'm hoping that they change that. I mean, we want more of those the stories like Pakistan and Tekken.
Right now they just have a flowchart that is so good that they're not willing to like take it to the next level because nobody else is really doing it. Another thing for my hopes for fighting games as well. And this is crazy, but I feel like modern games copy each other too much. So I'm hoping that in 2025 we have fighting games that are willing to diverse back to the roots of why people play fighting games in the first place with some modern features, aka like easy inputs and things like that, to kind of get people to play. But I'm talking about like the roots of why people play. Like it, I feel like we kind of left it a little bit, and I feel like we should go back to those roots where you know music was kind of crazy. Like some of the soundtracks was going hard. But I feel like now they try to like some companies they like dubstep was a popular thing like a couple of years, and like I feel like a lot of people go for like dubstep, type of music, and I think that like it's cool and all, but like like just do what you did back in the day, man. Like those soundtracks still hit.
Yeah, that actually reminds me like back in when I was in high school and I would actually be excited for like when Exerd was like coming out and I would be excited just to listen to the music because of how amazing like the original like XX Guilty Gear XX music was and like just hearing all the soundtrack and stuff like that and like yeah, you're right. I mean, nowadays I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same,
Yeah, man.
especially when it comes to Guilty Gear.
That would be my second thing. I'm hoping that games, as they find ways to make things accessible, I hope they go to roots why fighting games are so fun.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I guess my second hope would be to stop making it at like I feel like every single modern fighting game that's come out has like a factor of like I can't even without explaining it, I just like a Mickey kind of mechanic in the game.
The Mickey
Like
mechanic.
that's like the best way I could describe it. It's like every single modern game has like a Mickey factor in it now. So like for example, Tekken 8 has the heat now, right? Like the every single character has a heat action. Like there's that, and then in Street Fighter 6, there's like the drive rush, and Dragon Ball in the newer season of Dragon Balls, everybody has a full screen normal, stuff like that. Like I feel like every single game has stuff like that now. Back then it didn't really exist like that. Maybe in Marvel because of X Factor, but like when I think back onto like games that I used to play, like Persona 4 Arena, for example, like the characters were strong in that, but there wasn't really like no crazy comeback mechanics now.
Yeah, it was just like
Um,
certain states that you got, like awakening state and things like that. But
yeah, yeah,
but the thing but the thing is
exactly.
about it is like there was ways around it, right? You could kill them before they go into awakening, or like people would drop their combos before they go to awakening. Blaze Blue had like overdrive, so like if you use overdrive, that means you can't burst. So if you pop overdrive, that means that like you have to like you want to do it in a combo rather than like so. In Blaze Blue, what happens is if you depending on your life bar, if you cancel into overdrive, half of the time, I mean the time that you'll get is cut in half if you cancel it into, even on block and on hit. But if you just do it raw, then you get the full amount of time. So if you have 4 seconds and you cancel it, it's 2 seconds. So I think like stuff like that is like really cool and really structured in a way where things aren't like too crazy. But right now it just feels like the moment you like pop something, it's like it just puts you in a scenario.
Yeah, nah, exactly. I mean, the best example is like I don't know how familiar you are with Tekken 8, but like, yeah, I mean, the heat action is just as soon as you activate it, the tide shifts pretty much immediately.
Yeah,
It's just like, man, a lot of games have this kind of thing nowadays. There's just one mechanic that I hate out of like every game. For me in Street Fighter 6, I don't mind dry rush as much, but parry is just like, bro, why? Why does this
perfect parry,
exist in the game?
perfect parry and
Yeah.
straw. Yeah,
And then with Strive, everything I feel like at a certain point just TODs almost. Like it's almost insane how fast you die in those games compared to Exert and stuff like that. Like, and then more characters have full screen stuff. I mean, there was a whole character in the game that literally shoots bullets at you. Like, come on now.
yeah, dude.
Like, what in the world were we thinking with that? And a lot of games are like that. I mean, I'm hoping like they go back to their roots. Like, I don't want games to be hard per se, but I feel like all these newcomer mechanics, it just waters the games down.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I don't know.
if they're gonna add those mechanics, I think taking away mechanics shouldn't be the way you normalize things. You know, like like I was talking about it, man. You know, the art of backdashing has become way weaker than it's ever been. You know,
Oh yeah,
because now that games have a backdash macros, that means that you can't have backdash being as good as like the older games. So they nerf it. And I'm saying that I think that is a lazy way of doing things. I think you could do other ways to like make like people have an easier time doing backdashing. That means you have to like think a little bit outside of the box and be a little creative. Now I'm not going to say how you're going to be creative because you know it's not my job to. It's your guy's job to, right?
yeah,
But
exactly.
I do have some ideas, and I give like one example. I think like for example, uh, the way Dash Macros is designed, because they say we design Dash Macros for new players, then I feel like if you have a modern controls, the Dash Macros should only be available for newer, like modern controls. I think as a whole, if we don't want to even do any of that, I just think Dash Macros should be on modern controls for all fighting games, rather than being Dash Macros with regular controls.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, honestly. Just to keep, like the hardcore players to actually have to input these kind of things, it would be a lot better. I feel like.
It would make neutral a little bit more precise as well, because a
Yeah.
lot of games is various about like dash macros, and it breaks it ruins the fundamentals in the mid range because of the dash. That it's less committal. Usually a dash was a commit, and now a dash is no longer a commit. So like these 1v1 fighters that's became like team fighters, team fighter neutral, but like 1v1.
Yeah, I guess Strive is really the the pinnacle of everything, pretty much.
For my third fighting game, Hope, I think if we're gonna be a little positive, we need some more skins. We need like Strive don't have like any of the classic skins, which is crazy to me.
Don't even get me started on this one. Bro, I played Dragon Ball, man, and there's not a single one.
Yeah, so like
Bro, oh my god, they could have made so much money
Goku
off
having
of
like the
just.
tore up shirt, that would have been perfect, dude.
Bro, exactly, bro. It could have been anything. I mean, like legit, there's so many times where Vegeta has like a different fit or something like that, or like different battle armors and stuff like that. Like Teen Gohan with the Saiyan armor, like
Yeah, with
bro, like
or him with the cape on with like Piccolo, that would have been
or Piccolo
OD, bro.
himself with the cape. Like, how the hell does Piccolo not have the cape, bro? Like, come on
Yeah,
now.
like stuff like that, man. Like I really hope that the costume games become a foundation.
Bro, like I can't believe that some games don't take advantage of that. Like I feel like one thing if I always talk shit about NRS, but like if one thing they've done that their games have done really well is to crowdfund with the costumes
Yes.
for their tournaments, and just like that, they'll have, because depending on the game, like in, let's say, for Dragon Ball's case, they could have made millions of dollars, like for real, if they actually did this route and then easily put it into the world tour. Like, like that could have been, it's just perfect, right?
Yeah.
There's one thing that NRS has done so right. And I feel like not even, like, I don't even think in Street Fighter 6 that some characters don't even have their classic fit,
They don't, which is crazy to me.
like, that's insane to me. Like, not, I think besides like Ken, I think everybody else does not have their classic stuff. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's so
They're
bad.
missing out on so much money.
It's so bad, bro. Next year and new games coming, I know Riot, I know they're gonna be like using like a lot of the skins and stuff, which makes sense because they all of their characters have so many freaking skins. So, I think that's gonna be really important, and hopefully that goes to something crowdfunding that they can plan on. I think that's really important too.
I mean, even from the beta, they've already implemented that. There's already some skins for certain characters. So at least in Riot's case, they're definitely gonna do that. Hopefully.
What is your last hope?
It's just more money in the prize pool, man. We're still at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to esports, sadly.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
it pains my heart to see somebody get like 400th place in Fortnite and get 20K. Wow, we can't even get that in our World Tour finals.
Hmm.
It really it sucks, man, cuz like a lot of people, fighting games in general is probably one of the hardest game of the game genres out there, and we get the least money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just so sad. I mean, I understand why, like, because it's a 1v1 fighter. It takes a lot of effort and stuff like that. But like, I just feel like we deserve it, man. I feel like more people deserve to be like, I don't want to say famous, but like, you know what I mean? Like, deserve to grow, A lot of these people, like in other games, like for example, Marvel Rivals just came out. There's already a whole bunch of streamers that get like 20K viewers that never been heard of before, but they're good at Marvel Rivals, so now it's so popular that people are watching up to that degree of somebody already having 10K just off of that. Like, I've never even been close to that for any game that I've played. Um, I just hope that changes. I feel like, hopefully, I'm really hoping with 2XKO, opens a lot of people's eyes. I'm really hoping once it comes out, but we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, man, I'm hoping the same thing too, bro. I feel like I said, players are definitely the bottom of the barrel right now. Uh, you know, the best marketing strat is to win, and if you win,
Yeah,
people will finally recognize you as being, good.
but that's the thing that's so insane about fighting games, though, is because a lot of other people from other genres, they don't necessarily just have to win and then they get everything, right?
Right,
They just have to be decent, and
right,
and then people will watch you just for that.
right.
While in fighting games, it's, I don't know, it's just a genre problem, I guess, because even just for fighting games, it's hard for a regular person that doesn't play them to see it as other than button mashing.
Right.
While in shooters, they're so straightforward that you can understand, like, when somebody's good, for example.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it changes. I'm hoping. I want more of our people to prosper in that regard.
Yeah, likewise, bro. Trust me. Um,
Yeah.
well, I think that is a good. I think that's a good, nice, good picks, man. I would say. I want to say, man, thank you so much for coming into this video and talking about our fighting game host for 2025, man. You know what I'm saying? Most likely going to see you in 2026 talking about the same thing, being hopeful
the
for
same,
yeah,
the same
yeah,
exact thing.
yeah, yeah. But we just changed the number from 5 to 6. We still hoping, dog.
Oh
But
my
yeah, man,
god.
thank you so much.
Hopefully not, though.
Yeah. With that being said, man, thank you so much, man. Where can they find you, Hook?
You already know. Eduardo_Hook is the Twitch. Twitter's HookGangGod.
Nice,
That's
dog.
all.
Nice, dog. And with that being said, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you guys feel about our hopes for 2025, and what do you guys agree and what do you guys disagree on. And like I said, man, leaving a like and subscribing helps this channel a lot greatly, so I will appreciate you guys showing some love. With that being said, we'll see you guys on the next Fighting Game Select episode. Peace.